Hello and welcome everybody to another MOBOTIX training. My name is Michael Spassis. I'm the training program manager. And today with us, you can see the first one. We've got Samuel Rahn and Mike Tyler. The topic of today's webinar would be our brand new or our latest VMS, MOBOTIX Hub, where Sam and Mike are going to share interesting details and information about this VMS. Good morning, guys.
Morning, Michael.
Morning.
So before we start, if someone can just write that you can hear us and that you can see our screen. Okay, everything seems to be working. So guys, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay, then I say we start. It's already 3 minutes late, so first of all, welcome. Good morning from my side, and good morning, Mike.
Good morning also from my side.
Thank you for taking the time, Mike, because today the show will be mostly on your side. Quickly, as an intro, I will try to keep the slide part today quite short, and the main idea is really to have a live demo here to show you some features, and especially some features that we added during the last weeks and months to our systems. But quickly, just as a start to explain a bit why we are doing this webinar here, we really invited Mike to show all the possibilities that we have, because something that we really realized that the requirement for certain projects and nice projects actually increased during the last years. Mike is the expert for this, and that's why we really want to take you with us to show a little bit how we are doing things, how we see certain things, and how we can handle certain specific customer requirements. But to start this, and then also to explain a bit more why we are doing it, first one step back. I said a little bit the requirements increased definitely for us. So actually when I started in MOBOTIX, it was more or less like, okay, we are approaching projects with this kind of setup. We have our own, let's say, management system. We can bring our cameras into it, and that's about it, because we approached more or less greenfields. But that really fast, or let's say during the last years, actually changed quite a bit. So there were a lot more requirements and also parts that we need to consider. And that is also why was the reason for us why we introduced the MOBOTIX Hub. So certain points clearly to integrate other cameras in existing projects, other feature cameras also it's often required. We want to integrate other technologies, access control, some AI, face recognition, things like that. So that made us change a little bit. That's why we had to adapt this, and also the user handling. Actually, we really see that every one of us is used to just simple smartphones with good experience using it, some easy handlings, and that's also why we had to onboard or why we are onboarding and developing the MOBOTIX Hub even more, because we want to have really an open platform to take other technologies and have a really user-friendly handling platform for really complex projects, but also for easy projects where just a user-friendly environment is really needed. So that's basically why we have it, why we develop on it. First of all, like I said, the flexible part, the open part is quite an important feature. So we can integrate basically almost any other camera in the market to really bring projects together. But we can also integrate other technologies. Like I said, face recognition is one thing. Just yeah, as an example, the safer, I think most of you will know the technology is really deeply integrated into the MOBOTIX hub. You can see actually here Mike with even with a different haircut. Safer is recognizing him. And that is just the beauty of the hub, so that we can really build customized things together and use this as one platform. Yeah, just another example of integrations. If speakers are required, especially for example perimeter projects, we often work together with Zenitel. You can see how smooth actually the tab was put into the hub, so you can really also use their speaker functionality, the zip calls that they can do. You have the station overview, you can have your call log, and really a nice user interface, just like we are used to manage our cameras in the hub. It's also possible with the Zenitel. So just two examples how we can really, or how we are integrating other technologies in our projects in the meantime. The other part, the user friendliness, like I said, really a requirement that it is for the end client sitting at the desk or using the mobile, really an easy interface, and where the alarms can be managed in a really proper way. That will be also something that Mike is showing later. So our alarm from before, when the face was not recognized or the door was not locked, okay, it pops up in the alarm manager. You can see that here, quite easy. The user is seeing it. You can edit this. You can assign your alarm to another person if you don't want to take it, or if you don't have the authorization to take it. And in the end, also get reports. Okay, how often was there a mic in front of my door and was rejected? In an historical overview. So quite nice features which make it easy for the end client to use our cameras and our systems. But obviously, I was not talking about rocket science here in the last minutes. That is something that we should be used to. I think it's quite of a standard. So we definitely say it's not enough, and not why the hub is so special actually. We do it in a kind of unique way. That's also the title of our webinar. We really want to use the power of our cameras and use the user friendliness and the environment of the hub to bring those worlds together. So I see in the registration group many really experienced people here, also from for the MOBOTIX world. Everyone knows that obviously the beauty is to use the power that we have in the camera, to use the meta events, the apps that we have in the P7, so that every camera really still stays the own computer, as we usually say. But then if we want to use this kind of data and all the stuff that we can get out of the camera and do in the camera, then we can really nicely in the meantime integrate that into the MOBOTIX hub. So that overall, one major differentiator definitely is that you can have one full system out of one hand, also integrate other stuff, but mainly the cameras and the hub. And then it is also one thing that we hear quite often, it's complex with the licensing and everything. That is actually one beauty of using the system out of one hand. You need the camera and you need the hub. This is once off, so quite easy and simple also from a licensing perspective. And really straightforward. And then what comes on top of it, that's the things that we actually brought into the hub in the last weeks and months, and we really want to remind you. So that's also apart from Mike's demo later on. For example, the configuration of the camera simply in the hub, but especially also to use, like I said, the data that we are producing in our cameras. First of all for search functions, but second also for the visualization. Configuration, like I said, something that we often hear that people are not really aware of. We always know when we had to do the configurations in the past, you need to jump from browser to your system back and forth. It was a little bit bulky. can be done simply here in the hub, and yeah, it's a little bit small, but actually you see admin setup menu. The environment is exactly as like everyone knows basically from the browser, and the same goes for the move cameras, by the way. So also they can be integrated, and obviously one major benefit and one reason also to have the hub to really bring also move and IoT together. Simple and basically almost the only way to really combine all the technologies that we have. It was the first step with the camera configuration. A lot more will come basically in the next weeks and months. There are some really good developments. I'm not hiding anything if I say everyone here is aware of for example, the axis optimizer. To spoiler a bit, things like that will also come in the really near future to make it easy to implement MOBOTIX Move and IoT cameras in the hub by simply doing all the configuration work in an easy way and bring it over for your whole project. Second part, like I said, the forensic search. Many others systems are also putting this quite in their focus. For us, it's also in there. Specifically for MOBOTIX, we actually have it that our events, the MOBOTIX events, and also the apps are dedicated in the hub. So quite an easy search there. If we take the MMC, make model color, you can really search for a red Volkswagen or Golf in a specific time. Also something that we will see soon in the live demo from Mike. And the last part, actually my favorite one that we brought to the hub in the last weeks, is the data management. So the thermal technology, for example, was always kind of a need to really visualize also what we are measuring. So everyone is aware of the capabilities of the TR cameras, how accurate and safe they are. But really to visualize it and for the end user to have the possibility to identify certain trends, also go into the graphs, simple double click. We will also see it later, to go into certain events and with this have a much easier life using the thermal cameras. And the last part, the latest part, is actually to really, besides searching for all the data, really also getting the dashboards from the data that you are generating from the apps, for example, and then have your overview using or combining again a little bit technologies, also embedding the sync into our hub, and by just creating some dashboards, have a really intuitive overview on what you're actually monitoring. So that's a bit the story that I want to have as an opener, and now we will more or less see all those features in a short live demo in an environment that we built here in the headquarter, and that we would like to use now moving forward even more to show you things. If you have projects and clients, you can also utilize it by simply contacting us, and the live demo can be done, because we really want to emphasize a little bit that this platform is what we are building right now, and where we want to come to a position where we can really say this is the data management platform to combine really the data with the videos, and in the end also basically say what I mentioned in the beginning, that the complexity really increased from our side. The whole market talks about and then cloud, the data management, thermals. So we really brought the hub here into the center to make it what it is actually called, a hub, to combine everything that we can get. And that's a bit the story why we want to do this webinar, and why I'm now also stopping my part and handing over to Mike to actually start the live demo. Mike. Okay.
So now I will start sharing my screen here. I hope it's working. I hope you can see my screen.
the way questions, if anything comes up, just put it in the box.
Yes, Mike, we can see your screen. I'm monitoring the questions. We will go through all of them at the end of the webinar. So Mike, whenever you're ready.
All right, perfect. So we have built a demo installation in our HQ in Langmile. You will see directly also our railway we built there. And the good thing is on the MOBOTIX Hub, we can add it in the Active Directory. So with Management Center, for example, it was not possible. So you only have the possibility to use local users, and you have to copy the configuration to several PCs to have the same thing. With the MOBOTIX Hub, we can manage all centrally and use our Active Directory user. In this case, I added the user group for the MOBOTIX user, so every MOBOTIX user have the possibility to connect with our demo installation. And also we are supporting the single sign-on. So just my current user can log in, or if I add another user, for example, I would use the user of Samuel. I only need his username, his password, and then I can also connect with Samuel's user, just for example. Or we have also the possibility to add local users in the hub. It's called basic users. These users have nothing with our Active Directory, but we can also use this one to log in. In this case, I will show you that with the single sign-on and just connect. We only need, in our case, a VPN connection or local network connection in our HQ to connect this. Also working with our mobile application is also possible. So if you start the desk client, you will see the latest view by default, which you selected in the past. And this here is, you can see our railway. We have built it, and also normally we can start the train. At the moment it's some kind of broken, but I will show you features with the light on. This possibility is available, and also you can see here, just for example, a blurred image. So we did a privacy mask here. The possibility of the hub is that we can configure two kind of privacy masks. Permanent mask, which is not be able to remove, something like in our camera, but the hub has also the possibility to disable a liftable mask. If you can see here, okay, sometimes they are running some employees. We don't want to record them or see them to identify them, but we have the possibility to give users the right to lift up this privacy mask for 5 minutes, for example. You have just to click here and say lift privacy mask. Then you see the whole clear image, and I configured that after, I think, 5 minutes, it will also be privacy mask again, and you can't forget to activate the privacy mask. So this is also a nice feature if you have some areas which should not be seen the whole time, but in alarm case you have to see what happens there. You can also lift the mask here, and all this is possible in the live view and also in the recording. So this is one of the possibilities here. You can create different kind of views. Just by double clicking, you see the full screen. You also have the possibility to have here in this kind of view a low resolution image or live stream, and if you do a double click, you will receive, for example, the 4K resolution. So this is some kind of adaptive streaming, can be configured to minimize the bandwidth if you're looking at, for example, 100 cameras. Here we have also some function to add some kind of soft buttons here. These two here are user defined soft buttons, like our user click in the camera. And you can configure when you click on it that should something happen. I will do it on this camera, then you can see it. This is our railway. When I click on light, you can see the light is switching on. I only connected a I/O box to an M16, click on that, and everything is working. So this is quite a nice feature to control also some outputs, inputs, speakers with some kind of soft buttons here. The next, what I want to show you is that we have also the possibility not only to see cameras here, we have also, we are quite free to configure this, the whole view. Here you can see also I can put a text here. Just if I have one space free here, I can say, okay, this is our MOBOTIX railway. Or if you're using just, for example, our alarm management, you can do it by this way. I will show you that later. Or you can also create here a view. You can see the recordings of an alarm, the alarm list, and here you can manage just, for example, some alarms. When I click here, I get another one. I get here and I just got the recordings with the Vextra apps. I received the recording and also the alarm image here in this field. So you have the possibility not only to see camera live, you can also manage all alarms, for example, in just kind of view. Or one possibility is our carousel, something like the sequencer in Management Center. Here can have configured after 10 seconds. The next camera will appear, and you can also set 2 seconds if you want to see each camera step by step. You can configure this way. What is also a nice feature for the views are the hotspot functionality. I use it in several projects. So I have here a bigger window, some kind of focus window, and now I see this one, but maybe I want to see my LPR camera. I just have to click on it and it's switching in the bigger view. Double click, I see the full resolution here. So we have also the possibility just by clicking to switch this camera in this view. And if you have larger projects, for example, and want to visualize the cameras in some kind of maps to see, okay, where is the camera located? We have two possibilities. One is just add an image here. This is our HQ. Put the cameras, and you can also have some slave maps here. You can see, okay, this is blinking. When I just click on it, I got another view. Just an example image here, and you can see, okay, this camera is having an alarm. And I do a mouse over, I get the live view. You can also switch this into big view, go playback, so you can also manage your cameras in a normal map functionality just with images. Or if you have a tile server, map server, or internet connection, you can also add Google Maps, Bing Maps, or OpenStreetMaps. In this case, I added here an OpenStreetMap. And at the moment we don't have any kind of landscapes here, only the overview. You can see I put the cameras in the right location, see, okay, this camera had an alarm, just double clicking, see, okay, which camera is it? I can also acknowledge the alarm or send the camera just to a floating window, just for example, or to a second monitor and see the live and the playback functionality. This is everything done in the map. And you can also work with different locations. So this is our HQ, and my LPR camera is on the remote location installed. So you can just switch to another location and see, okay, where are the cameras located? Do they have alarms, etc.? So this is one kind of possibility to use also map functionality in the hub. It would also be possible that I add the map here in this view. So you're quite free to define where the function is available and in which position. So this is some kind of showing what views we are supporting. And I think Samuel will be happy when I show you also our thermal plugin, which is available from hub level 2 to 5. So if you have a, for example, MOBOTIX Hub L2 installation, you can just download the plugin from our website, install it, and you don't have to pay anything for that. And you can use more functionality in the MOBOTIX Hub. So here I have our TR camera. You can see here, okay, I have here some different measurement windows and also the graphs. When I do a mouse over, I see for every image the temperature of each area here. You can also, in this case, is level 5. You can also name it right, left, vehicle, or something like that. And you can see for every image the temperature here. And if you want to see, if just for example, I have here some kind of peak, just double click, you will switch to the recording and see, you can see, okay, what happens in this case here. Just easy handling. Here I have the possibility also to zoom in, to move left, right. Or if I want to see the graph for every area, I also can split them. In this view, I've splitted them here, and you can see for every camera, for every measurement area, you can see the graphs here, and you can also configure some kind of thresholds. So if the threshold, for example, here is the temperature is over 35 degrees, I will get some visual alarm. You will not get a notification, sound or something like that in this graph, but you can have a visual alarm here. So you see directly, okay, there is something happened. You can have a look just by double clicking here, go into the playback. If you say, okay, I know that alarm, you can acknowledge it, and then everything is fine. So it's just kind of visual alarm, and you can define it free to say, okay, by, for example, 20 degree, I will get a green frame, 30 degree orange, and 50 degree red frame. So this is quite a simple way to visualize also some thermal alarms in the MOBOTIX Hub dashboard. You can also say, okay, I want to see the thermal hotspots here. For this one, then you get just kind of thermal hotspot to crosshair is in the camera, and we get the overlay here also in the MOBOTIX Hub. When I enabled it here, this one here, you can see here also disappears. So you don't have to enable it on a camera. You can also see it on the MOBOTIX Hub. If you have a dual sensor, for example, also a optical sensor here, you can also show this thermal hotspot on both sensors with some kind of overlay or movement of this window, because the images are not quite the same. So, but you can also visualize this alarm here in the optical sensor if you want. So this is also a possibility with the MOBOTIX Hub thermal dashboards. And it's working with P3, P6, P7 cameras. You only need TR camera with radiometry if you're using only the hotspot. So the normal thermal sensor, you only will receive the thermal graphs here for the hotspot, for the 4 pixels in the middle of the sensor, but would be also possible to retrieve it also without radiometry. The next one we implemented, I think 2-3 weeks ago, is a plugin for our MOBOTIX Sync. So we have here a possibility just to switch here in the upper bar to open just the web UI of the MOBOTIX Sync, so our dashboard for all our vector apps to visualize and log all detected license plate, for example. Here you can see this is a list of my LPR camera, and there are quite not a lot of informations, but I can also say, okay, I want to see the make, the model, and the color. And then you see here, okay, this was not detected, but this one here, at the moment, the overview sensor is my LPR, so we don't see the color, but you can see here and switch over. This is one functionality to use MOBOTIX Sync in the hub. You can also manage then the plate list, black-white listing here, all in one software. And if you also have the Grafana plugin installed, you have the possibility to see all your created dashboards. So in this case, I created around about 16. It could be a while because I do not have the best internet connection here, but it will be loaded in some seconds, and then you can also visualize your detections from the Vector LPR cameras, like container code, LPR, MMC, UIC. In the future, there will be also more possibilities to also to get thermal data here in the MOBOTIX Sync and see some dashboards, and also for other apps like Barcode. I hope it's loading in a few seconds. Yeah, now it's coming. And you can see here I created a lot of different kind of dashboards here. You can see an overview, or if you want to see, for example, which makes are available or detected, you can just have a double click here and see the dashboards in a bigger view. So this is one functionality to visualize it. And if you're using LPR and create dashboards with a timestamp inside the dashboard, it will be loaded in some seconds. Then you can also use it for the playback functionality. I will show you that in a second when it's loaded. So we will receive a table with the detected license plate, and when I say okay to the hub, when a license plate is detected, then you should also start the recording. I can just double click on the time, and it will switch directly to the playback, and you can have a better review of the detected license plate. So you can see here my table. When I just make a double click here, it will switch directly to the recording. And for example, just another case, and also here. So it's an easy handling also to get the license plate playback with Grafana dashboards. This is one possibility. There are, I think, more than 1,000 other possibilities to use that, but this is one way to show and visualize the detected license plate. If you are using LPR or UIC, just the vector apps, and want to research something for a specific license plate, for example, we also have included a better search in our plugin. So if you can select here the time, for example, the last 6 hours, or if it's 24 hours, I select here my camera, just click on search for, and then I can select, okay, which plugin search, what do I want to use? In this case, I'm doing the MMC vector MMC make model color recognition. I just select it, and normally it will be loaded. Take some time over the VPN here, but you can see here now the results of all the detected license plates in this time area here. And if I want to search just, for example, for a specific license plate, I will just put it here, and I only will get the results of this license plate. If you click on it, you will see, okay, which camera, the time, and also which brand, color, description, okay, model, and the plate here was detected. So you just get all informations. You can have the playback here, just a double click, you will get the full image. Double click again, you will switch back to the search. And you have the possibility directly, if you want to record that or export, you say, okay, this is very important, just mark this, add it to the export list, and then I have the possibility to export also directly this event or create a report. If you want to say, okay, I need this one here for the police, just click it, create it, and you can print it directly. So we have a lot of functionalities. We can create snapshots, evidence logs. It's quite nice to handle all the events. But this is just an example for the vector apps. We also have the possibility to use every kind of internal IoT event here. So if I select just, for example, my TR camera here, you receive around about 170 results. But maybe I want to see, okay, maybe my area TR5, TR1 is only trigger an alarm. So then I can click on search for. I want to search for MOBOTIX events. And now I have the possibility to decide, okay, which event. So if you can see here, I have environment events and also message events. So in this case, I only want to see my message event, and I only get the results of my message event. If I do it over several cameras, I can also say, okay, if I have, for example, also iRISity available, I would enter here the name of this event. Just for an example, a better showing here is the environment, because I have here some different kind of naming. If you can see here is the TR3 and TR5, but in this case only TR5 is important. Then you will only get the results of the TR5 event. So you have a better research of all the functionality. In the IoT camera, we can use the environment events, image analysis event like activity sensor, message events, just for example, from all our certified apps, or our meta events. So you have the possibility also to use the logical in our camera to trigger the hub to do something. So in this case, I would select this one here, add this to the export list. If I now click on exports, I have the possibility to export this one directly in normally 3 ways: in a hub format, So this, I will show you that I created some export here. So you have the possibility just to copy a folder, give it to your boss, and he can also do a better research and only export the things which are important for him. Or you can also export it directly in a media player format, MKV or AVI. These two possibilities, and here you also have you can also switch. Okay, this may be a too long time range. You can also modify the export here again, and then only this part here will be exported. So if I export it in hub format, I just created minutes ago. You can see here the folder webinar. When I click on it, I can just copy this folder, give it to Samuel, and he can use it without any installation. He just click on Desk Client Player. You can also decide in the configuration, should this also be password protected or not. If you say okay, I added a password, I give the password to Samuel, and then he can open this kind of view. And then he also has the possibility to do a research, mark just, for example, this area, and say, okay, I want to export these two here. So he can also see all the recordings from my hub format export, mark the areas which are important, and export only the important things. And this is also possible for 100 cameras, 200 cameras. It's not any issue here. So this is one kind of export functionality we have in the MOBOTIX Hub to, how would I say, to mark the important area. You can just switch on playback. And now we have two possibilities: to click on the clock, set my start range, my end range, click OK, and this area will be marked, for example. Or you can also switch on this button here. Then you will get a slider and see, okay, I only want to mark this area here for my export from this camera, this and this. Just click and add to export list. I want to have another view and add some clips to the export, or click directly to export, and then you will see your list and you can export it. So it's just an easy way to export the recordings, and also protect it with a password. So this was the search. And if you can see here, we have also this for the AI tech apps, and also for I think all of our Vector apps. In the future will be also some kind of barcode, hopefully also thermal validation app, etc. So we will also add new functions here in the plugin. It's only a first step, and there will become a lot of more things. And also I want just to show you, if you're using MOBOTIX Cloud, for example, you can also add it directly here. So you have your CloudBridge or account. It's our MOBOTIX Cloud demo here. I hope it's loading and online. You can just add the link to the MOBOTIX Cloud, the credentials, and then you have the possibility to log in to the web UI directly from the hub. I hope it's loading. If not, I will switch to the view. It's only if you click here, it's showing. You will see the same thing as in the web browser, but you also have now the possibility to add cameras here. I hope it's loading. We will see what happens. I will just switch to the live view. Then you can see all your cameras here directly from the cloud. So you have the possibility to add it in the hub. Or you can also say, okay, I want to do a playback. Then you will receive the playback functionality of the cloud, also mark an area, export it, so you can react and do everything also in the desk client with our MOBOTIX Hub. This is some kind of feature also in the latest plugin version. If you have several projects, for example, 5 areas with MOBOTIX Cloud, and you have a MOBOTIX Hub available, you can add this one and manage everything here from the MOBOTIX Hub desk client, and you don't have to log in the web browser, open other software, etc. So it's an all-over management board, I would say. So, and the next step would be our alarm manager. maybe you have seen here some kind of push notification. So I can configure the MOBOTIX Hub to react on specific events, and you will receive then a short pop-up here. Hopefully I can do it if I switch the light on. Then you can see here the light on. This was just an example. If I click here, I will directly jump here. This one has no live image here, but I can show you that with the TR. If you click on it, you will receive the live image, directly the recording, and also the management functionality of our of our alarm manager. So I can say here, okay, I do a comment, high temperature. Add this one here, maybe, yeah, it's not a high priority, it's medium. And normally, now I'm at the administration login, normally I get a list of, but if I use another normal user, I would see here also Samuel, then I can assign this alarm also to Samuel, and then he has to work on this alarm. And after maybe, I can say it's not new, it's in progress, for example, then this one here is switching in progress. Then I can also work again with it. I can set it on hold. Then I say, okay, then it's switching here in this list. And okay, I reviewed everything and I will just close this alarm. And in the hub itself, I can configure after 5 days, all closed alarms will be deleted, for example. And if you're using maps also, you will get the camera location directly. In this case here, I have a smart map also. So you can see here, from Vector apps, they have more functions. We will see here directly the playback and also the alarm image. If I just click on it, you can see it's driving. If I use another one, just a double click, I will receive the full image here. So this is some kind of possibility to react and work with alarms. Normally, we can also configure that there will be a sound notification. In this case, I have disabled it. You can decide, should this sound only appear one time or several times? And then you will get some kind of disco music in your office. And only after you have react on this alarm, then the sound will be disabled. So this would also be possible with the desk client, and you can decide if the push notification should appear only on one PC, on every PC. So we are quite free to configure that. And if you want to see the report, which Samuel showed, you can just click on report. I hope it's not loading. Then I say, okay, the category, for example, from the last days. And select, for example, my LPR, and then I get just a report, how many alarms do I had on this date, this date, this date, and then you can print it, something like that, and you can see, okay, how many alarms do I have over 1 week, 2 weeks, and maybe I have to reconfigure the cameras, just some kind of statistics here. If I create a PDF, I can open it, and you will get this report also as a PDF and can hand over it to your boss or something like that, or to the police. So this was a very, very short introduction in the MOBOTIX Hub desk client functionalities, the main functions. We have also another functionalities, but therefore we will need a half day. But I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have questions, just put it there in the chat, and then we can answer it now directly. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll have talks with a lot of nice hub projects in the future. Thank you very much.